Welcome back everybody, we are here, Apex Gym, you know the drill. It's either posterior or legs, today it's posterior. I think we took you through this session not too long ago. There have been a couple of changes, which I will cover when we get to. But ultimately, back, hinge movement, bit of hams, bit of biceps to finish. Getting after it, we are beginning of week 3 of this cruise. We are 1 month today from starting prep, which is exciting. So yeah, Monday the 6th of May we'll start prep, and the goal between now and then is just get locked in even more so if that's possible, feel as good as possible, drop a little bit of weight, almost get the prep sort of starting so that when I hit that, I think it's 18 weeks out, I'm already in a really good place to obviously add back in a few super supplements and take it from there. So yeah, go after it, starting with a single arm, pull down. You know, I love to do my single arm stuff first. So far so good. So that's that, top set, back off set. I suppose one thing to mention on like a single arm thing, especially those top sets, the working sets, treat each arm as an individual set. You know, don't just go left arm straight into right arm, because you're going to have some negative carryover. You're still going to be out of breath, especially if you're me, and you're going to be a little bit more fatigued neurally and just probably not as switched on as you should be. So take your time between each arm, lock in, repeat, failure on both. And the other thing that I do potentially noticeably on film is my top set is still tidy, the reps, but they might be a little bit sloppier, especially the last 1 or 2. And then on the back off, I really make a point of trying to lock in, squeeze the fucker as much as possible, so we get the best of both, sort of control under extreme load and real intent under good load. So chest supported T-bar now. I love this movement. You can get pretty aggressive with it because there's only so much body English you can put when you're in that position. So while we're always trying to be as strict as possible, it's one where I'd say probably have to think a little bit less about it. Just find a position that feels good. You know, I'm not gonna over complicate it. I'm pulling at an angle that I feel my back moves best at. My shoulders are comfy and I can just get progressively heavier. So a little 2.5 kilos on this week. This is one that I personally find the little weight increments seem to make a big difference. So yeah, hit my reps last week. We'll get it done today, and then obviously if reps get hit, weight goes up. If not, I'll chip away next time, do an extra 1 or 2, and keep progressing. Oh. So target reps there, 6 to 8. I hit 7. I'll stick on that next time. Get that 8 fucker. Oh. So, for the cable pull down action, I actually stayed away from cable pull downs for quite a while when like the optimal brigade came on the scene, because you get sucked in and like just sort of did movements that were hashtag more optimal. But I'll refer back to the balance between optimal and what feels good for you. And I like this because I can get a full stretch. Granted, I have to lean back just so that I don't hit the stack because I'm a lanky fucker. I can get a full stretch and I can feel it. I can squeeze, I can load it, and ultimately you can get a relevant range of motion, a good load, a good connection, a good execution. You won't go far wrong. So these have been in for, well, they were in the last video maybe, I think. They've been for a while, certainly since the beginning of the year. So it's a tick from me. Before we move on, one thing I wanted to cover in this video, because I think it's quite relevant. So as I said at the beginning, I'm commencing week 3 of this cruise. And one thing that can irritate me with clients, it's been done, and with, you know, guys in similar positions, is just because you've taken less drugs should not mean your mindset around training changes in any way, shape or form. There are people out there, and you'll be annoyed right now, and if you are, it's probably because it's you, but you'll naturally go into a cruise and think, oh, I'm not taking as much, my strength's going to drop. That should not be the way you think about things. Going into the deep end of a prep, will performance be affected at some point to some degree, but all that's changed is I've reduced drugs, I reduced food a little bit, but I'm at the very least a comfortable maintenance. So why on earth would my performance decrease outside of me just training and thinking like a little pussy, which I've not got that in me. So maybe a little bit blunt, but something to think about. You cannot, don't just think of your progress within cycles, think of your progress throughout the year. Even going into prep, those early stages, there are still hashtag gains to be made. So let's get rid of this dependency on drugs and really promote the intensity, the mindset of working fucking hard for what you want. So that's a direct back work done. Do just 3 sets of hamstrings. Last set all in, leaving nothing. And on to block RDLs. So I like doing hamstrings before because I feel a bit safer, if I'm honest, and it gives me a little bit more frequency on hamstrings. And from the most recent photos I took for my own records, was one of the muscle groups that I was actually, dare I say, happy with, certainly satisfied with. So, you know, for me, it seems to be working, hitting them short and sweet on posterior, and at the end of the week on leg day, which, although being a quad dominant session, still has its fair share of hamstrings and glutes as well. Right, I always go so lightheaded after that. So I spoke right at the beginning about, we showed you this session fairly recently, but it's changed a little bit. If you watch, you'll know, but posterior was starting with hams and then straight into the block RDLs. Now I've reversed it. So the back work is first, then hamstrings, then RDLs, then biceps. As with everything I do, the main reason is more practical than scientific. RDLs wipe me out aerobically, and they take a lot out of me mentally. And I didn't know if it would work, but I kind of had a moment of like clarity, and I thought, oh, well, I don't feel I'm maybe getting as much out of my back work as I could. What happens if I switch around? I've done that. Back work feels incredible. RDLs still feel horrible, that's what they are. But I definitely feel, for me, it's a better way of doing things. It does mean I've just stripped it back to one working set. So I build up, trying to hit a top set of like 8 reps. So keeping a good rep target there. No, like 4 or 5s, sometimes 6 if I'm progressing the weight and don't get where I want to. So yeah, again, it's the way I program for myself, the way I program when I get feedback from clients. It's very practical. Like, listen to your feedback, listen to their feedback. Is there a fairly simple thing you can do within the training to make the overall quality of the session better, get more out of it? And for me, this simple switch has definitely made a good difference. Boom. So after giving it large, about 8 reps, I got 6. But that was a step up in load. Fucking hell, out of breath, from last week. So I've lifted heavier. I'm not sure about I'm going off a lower block than ever before. But since I've got ill, I reset everything. I've just been building it each week. So I'll keep doing that. And next time you see me, there should be more on the bar, whenever that may be. So short and sweet on biceps at the end. Haven't got a lot left, so I just want to make it intense, plenty of volume. So we're doing 3 supersets, dumbbell spider curls, really load, emphasize at the top. And one of my favorites, the kind of pull down bicep curl from that extended position. And on this last set, I'm going to do a third, just dumbbell hammer curls, just to finish things off, volume. And biceps done in 10 minutes, so yeah, it works well, because like I said earlier, after the RDLs, regardless of where they are in the session, I'm pretty spent. Okay, so posterior done. Probably sound a bit repetitive in a minute, but training is going so well. As I alluded to earlier, the potential to let that intensity drop off during this phase, you know, some people would allow it, but if anything, I feel a bit healthier. I have dropped a bit of weight, so that's made a difference. You know, it's always balancing the extremes of pushing hard when you need to, but then also, fuck me, do you appreciate coming back down? So things are going really, really well now. In the last update video, you'll know exactly kind of where I stand with things, so I won't go over anything else like now. But for the session, fantastic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I gave some semi-informative content and information to you. And any questions, let me know. Yeah, great session. I'll see you guys soon. Simple as that. Thank you very much.